We'll call the meeting to order.
Commissioner LeBlanc present.
Commissioner Brandon is present.
Commissioner Gardner present.
Commissioner Becker present.
All right. Ms. Brandorf, would you do the invocation, please?
I say this prayer tonight in honor of my sister who died on July 24th. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any citizen participation? Anyone that would like to speak before we get started? No? Mr. Slavin.
Hello again. Ed Slavin, box 3084, edslavin.com. I was just reminiscing a little while ago with Dr. Shu back to 2005, and I told him that in my experience with the Anastasia Mosquito Control District of St. Johns County, since 2005, I've never had a problem getting records. I was telling him that once NASA wanted to charge me $960,000 for 16 cartons of documents when all I wanted was an answer to a yes or no question. But keep on keeping on. Thank you all for all y'all are doing in terms of reducing the use of organophosphates and using natural pesticides. And keep up the good work, and I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Slavin. All right. Can we have an approval of the agenda? Any additions, corrections, or deletions?
Make a motion that we approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Oh, I'm
Yes.
okay. Do we have it? We did have a second?
We have a
Okay.
second.
We're doing this agenda or the one in the book?
The one on the table.
Does anyone have comments? Corrections? All right. All in favor? None opposed? Okay. Thank you. Approval of the consent agenda. Do we have a motion for the consent agenda?
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
And as presented, it's with the withdrawal, right?
Correct.
Of number 7.
With the FDAX withdrawal, yes.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
I have a question. The
Certainly.
FDAX, are we moving that to something else or it's
Withdraw.
all through?
It's a wrong copy.
I think that was the
Awesome.
state sent us along.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
an email.
yeah, it's their mistake. Right.
okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay. All in favor? Okay, none opposed? Unmuted. Who wants to go first on the auditor engagement letter? Dr. Shu?
Thank you. Last year, AMCD published RFP for selection auditor, and we received the full board member, our board members, the auditor selection committee, ranked our proposal. I finally selected award AMCD 2022-23 financial auditor to the claim for. The contract is the annual renew, and she gave the after audit report in May this year. She gave a proposal for the next year, financial 2023 to 2024. In last meeting, July 11, so the item have to be called over and the table, so that then we have some kind of paperwork talking to her. She has scheduled travel already. Yeah, I don't know if she's still no connection today. She's calling in or not. So that attach the engage letter for renew. My recommendation is that the board need a vote or decide to renew or not renew her contract for 2023 to 24. Also give the staff direction for further process. Because time issue. So during this time, our lawyer, Mr. Mayor, work out the auditor selection policy, update our policy selection committee. So before we try to September, now she work out for this meeting. On your table, you have an auditor resolution and policy can see there. So my recommendation will be approve with the auditor selection policy. And look at what's happening this year. Time issue probably need a discussion approve with the auditor renew. If you wanted to do anything change in next year, so we can start redo the RFP. So probably need to look at the two, three motion. First, in the motion renew or not. Second motion about adopt the policy, the lawyer work with the policy, after policy.
Well, we just got that now.
This is the other one.
Well, this one is this one, but Rudy, I
Same.
had written one and Rudy had not forwarded it to Amy. I think his timeline that Amy to go here is too late.
Well, one thing real quick, I just want to say, the contract on here is 23, 24. That
Yes.
was last year.
That was last year's contract.
That's the last year, yeah, not the,
Oh, it's for
In the
23.
financial for
She's
past
auditing-
year.
She's auditing the 23,
Yeah.
24.
yeah. End of September.
Mr. Hanna, do you have any comments on this?
Scott Hanna, Anastasia Mosquito Control District, CFO. I thought the auditor selection procedures policy updated looked good, and I saw no problem with resolution 2024-04. I believe there was another handout that Commissioner
Yeah.
Gleason gave us. I looked it over.
I sent it on August 4th and it never got forwarded to Ms.
Excuse me, could you speak up, please?
I,
I think your
Is it on?
Yeah.
okay, I send it, it's on now.
Yeah.
I sent it on August 4th, and I asked for it to be forwarded.
Um,
Is it fixed? Hello? Okay, can you hear me now? I sent it August 4th, and I asked that it be forwarded to Ms. Myers, and it never got forwarded. So
Oh, okay.
now
So-
we have this, and I believe that to do a selection of an audit committee in May, that's a little bit late. That's selecting the committee, not doing an RFP, and then evaluating RFP by July. That's just, to me, that's too much of a compressed timeframe. I had suggested in my email that, in my resolution that didn't get forwarded,
Sorry, this is my fault. I the
that didn't get
document.
forwarded,
Yeah.
that it be backed up to actually have the audit committee be established before January and have them start working on revising the RFP so that it could be issued in May, June timeframe.
Is the audit selection committee, would that be, I guess if it's passed, you would have to select, like, usually the auditor starts her field work right about now, so.
I'm
for
not,
the-
so here's the
Okay,
thing, I'm very confused as to what we're talking about. We're doing an audit selection committee,
Yes.
which is separate from this renewal that we're gonna discuss.
Okay.
So which one are we talking about?
Why don't we keep on the renewal
Yeah.
for
Is the
now?
audit- okay.
And then we can do the
No, because-
Is
resolution
the-
next,
But
because I think
yeah,
there's a lot,
'cause
too
yeah,
many
'cause Rudy
things.
read the resolution, and I thought we were on the renewal. So I don't know what we're doing.
and
That's
my,
okay.
my question would be, is the audit selection committee going to slow down the current audit, which needs to get started as soon as
I'm
possible?
not talking about the current audit. I'm
Okay.
talking, that's what I said, what are we talking about right now? Are we talking
We're
about?
talking
renewal?
about the auditor engagement.
Okay, so
Okay.
Rudy, you read that,
Engagement.
you read,
Yeah, do we, all right,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
so do we
Go
have
ahead.
anything to add about the auditor engagement? I have requested for the last 3 months, the work plan that was the audit plan for last year's audit, and I still have not gotten it.
Yeah, I mean, here's one, and this is one issue that I see. You do say that you mention these things that you request. It would be very helpful if you'd bring out a printout or some kind of attachment or something,
Okay.
because you're mentioning that you did something and it's,
You've got emails from me for the last 3 months, and you were copied on it.
Well, I
And
think
you're
he's
telling me
probably
I'm
saying
making
he's
it up?
Confused about which
I'm
one
not
you're talking
saying
about.
that. I'm saying if you brought maybe a printed copy as a handout, that would make things, there's so many emails we get. For us to hone in on one email and put it
An
above everything
email that
else.
says to you, to Rudy, and to Ms. Klein, says, can I get a copy of last year's audit plan? That's not important enough to read and remember?
I've answered every email that you send me, I respond to. And then once I respond, I'm getting the same questions again. I'm getting repeated questions. So I'm not sure what to do.
Can I ask you a question? Can
Sure.
you please turn it down? I am not asking, I haven't asked you a repeated question once on this. I asked for a copy of the audit plan. That's all I've asked.
And
That's it.
I did answer that in the email.
All right,
The audit plan, okay, go ahead.
all right, let's go back to
Okay.
the topic on
It's okay.
the agenda. And the
Well, I'm
topic
not,
on,
the reason I
but
asked
you
for
don't have
that,
the floor.
okay,
Okay.
well, it's
The
nice they don't enforce
auditor
it with me.
the auditor engagement letter for renewal is what's on the agenda.
Well, that's part of that discussion. Because I said I was not going to move to approve that letter, at least for me, without a copy of last year's audit plan.
Okay. I think you've made that clear.
Well, obviously
Okay.
not.
Okay, so you're asking about the audit plan. And do you remember what my response was to you about it?
I don't have a response from you.
In fact, I think I have a copy of it right here.
There wasn't one?
Yes, in fact, I kept that email. Okay, here's your email, and here's my response in red. You want me to make a copy and hand it out to everybody?
You can.
Okay, I still need a copy of the audit plan and the details and who authorized it. So I said the auditor develops and documents the audit plan. That includes a description of the plan nature, timing, and extent of the risk assessment procedures, plan nature, timing. The auditor is the one that develops the audit plan.
I know, and that's what I asked for. It's part of her work papers. Where is it?
You asked me for a copy of it.
Well, am I
I
supposed?
don't have it. The auditor, actually,
nobody-
it's part of her working papers.
So you don't keep it? You don't?
No,
Work
no, the-
paper is public record. just
If
for-
you want a copy of the auditing working papers, you talk to the auditor directly.
Okay.
It'd be like
She was
walking,
copied in the email.
it'd be like walking over to the construction company and saying, can I see what bag of cement you're using? It's like, it's one of the ingredients of the audit that she does. She's the person you would talk to for that, not
So
us.
you're the CFO of this organization, and
And I
you have
answered-
no oversight of it.
I answered, I said the auditor. So, as
Do you
far as,
understand by law, somebody has to sign off on that audit plan? She cannot sign off her own audit plan.
and
So who signs off on it? If it's not you, and it's not us, because we haven't seen it,
actually, it's generally one of the partners of the auditing firm doing the audit. They will sign off on an audit
so we have
plan.
to trust. You're telling me that,
That's why we hire a trained professional to do an
Okay.
audit.
all right, I don't have any more questions.
Thank you. All right,
So I have one thing that I want to,
you have the floor.
Sure.
I know we're still on the
Engagement.
engagement letter, but I think there's something that we need to clear up before, because all of this doesn't make sense if this isn't cleared. I went and read the statute, and the statute says that this is for the creation of political subdivisions validated, the creation organizations and existence of all cities, towns, counties, special tax school districts, special road and bridge districts, and all other districts in the state which have heretofore issued or taken proceedings toward the issuance of any bonds for the purpose of financing or aiding in any financing and of any work, undertaking, or project financed or to be financed in whole or in part by a loan or grant heretofore made or agreed to be made to such body by the United States, acting through the Federal Emergency Administrator of Public Works, are validated, ratified, approved, and confirmed. We are not in that.
Can you confirm what you were reading? I'm
I don't know
sorry.
what
I
she's
didn't hear
reading,
the
because
citation.
she's reading a component of it, she's not
I'm
reading
reading
the whole
the
chapter.
entire statute.
Yeah.
You don't get to pick and choose
No,
who it
but you-
applies to.
No, but you have
if
to
we
read
don't
special,
apply.
okay, so I
No,
spoke to.
you don't have the floor, I'm sorry.
So
Our attorney-
218 is the chapter, and it can't go for different things, right?
Well, the district is a political subdivision of the state of Florida. So chapter 218 generally doesn't.
But we
apply
don't
to
work
the
off of
district.
bonds.
It's okay.
And everything in
It's
this is
not
about
just-
bonds.
It's not just
It's not-
bonds,
it's not
it's
just
not just
bonds.
bonds.
It also
Okay,
applies
so
to the
then we can go ahead, okay.
Not every provision of 218
Right.
applies to the district, but the provisions regarding the auditor selection procedure and the production and presentation of an audit annually by a certified public accountant does apply to the district.
Okay. So does that mean since we've opened, we've been breaking the rules?
I don't have an opinion on that. It appears you have a certified public accountant who has been preparing an audit for you that you have annually been reviewing and approving.
And in this, it says if the state doesn't get it every 2 years, then there will be fines. So we should have been fined already.
No, we've provided the state with the audit.
I think.
Yeah,
But
in
if
fact-
we're the audit committee, we don't have one, then who's approving what? Then the state would not approve us. I just
Let
want to
me-
make sure
Let
we're
me
doing
catch
everything
everybody on
correct.
something. Audit committee and audit selection committee, I've seen that being used interchangeably all over the place. So we have to make sure we're talking about the audit committee or the audit selection committee. The audit selection committee selects the audit. The audit committee is who the auditor reports to after the audit begins. And I'm seeing that interchangeably being
No,
used.
But I use it very separately. I use audit selection committee separately from audit committee. And if you're not reviewing the results. of-
Actually, I mean, you have a proposed resolution right here that and you're quoting section 218.391.
There's
and
two
you- and you-
resolutions. There's
This
two
right
sep-
here,
there's
this is
two-
what you did, right?
Please,
Okay,
I'm going to ask you, because now you're out of order. There's two resolutions, one for the audit committee and one for the auditor selection committee. So and it is not my fault, Ms. Myers, that it didn't get forwarded to you. I ask you, and I'm trying to, actually, I was putting a resolution forward to move forward to get this thing approved, but obviously it's not working. And I said, can we approve this contingent on us getting those work papers? But obviously, you're not reading that one. But I also understood that Ms. Klein was supposed to be at this meeting, and she's not, so I don't know.
All right.
I know how I'm going to vote, so.
I need point of clarification. Okay, so this is a proposed resolution.
I don't
for-
know which one you're reading.
This is the one I got handed to me today. Yeah, I believe that you prepared it.
Yeah, on August 4th.
Okay.
There's two, there should have been two.
Are these ones two separate ones, or there's two in here?
Mine says resolution,
Of AMCD
Okay,
Audit
we're,
Committee.
Just
we're not,
look at it.
we're gonna
Yeah.
table this until another meeting.
Yeah,
Right now,
organized.
we're looking for
The renewal.
a renewal for our auditor.
okay.
And so, do we have a motion to renew?
I'll make a motion to renew the,
All right,
The
do we have
auditor.
thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
No, I'm going to make a comment, it's
All right.
public comment,
And obviously, Commissioner Gleason.
and I have a comment
All
too.
Oh,
right,
Didn't we renew this last month?
No,
Or did
we
renew
tabled
last?
it, we tabled
we
it.
tabled it.
Ms. Klein was supposed to come and talk to us about it, but
Yeah.
you guys,
Oh, all right.
no, she didn't come.
Mr. Hannah?
Yes. What?
It's
Us
time for
already?
the financial.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute, what?
Wait,
wait,
wait, wait, we have public
what did you do? I thought we were
We
still on.
voted.
No, we did not vote.
Yes, we did.
You did.
There was
She had a
motion, there was
question, I had a question. No.
Well, yeah, I voted.
Oh, did you vote?
Yes, you're the, yes.
And
But
then-
there was public
there's
comment
You
still.
can't just close it down for public comment.
There has to be an opportunity for the public to a
You
comment
can't
before
just
you
say
take
we're
an action.
done.
Is there a comment, Mr.
You want to
Slavin?
be rude to me, go ahead.
I think Commissioner Gleason has the floor. She had the question first.
No, my question was, last
Sure.
month, we tabled this until Ms. Klein would come and talk to us. Subsequent to that, I said, can we please get the work plan for last year so that I can feel comfortable that the procedures outlined by the Inspector General, which, by the way, I actually spoke with, were followed. She has repeatedly, and she was in one of my emails that I responded back, has ignored that request. So when you say that I have not asked her directly, she was on that email.
And I can't speak for her.
And I'm not
whether-
asking you
okay,
to speak,
sure.
please.
Scott, you
You're
have not
taking
read it.
Okay.
you're taking offense to something I'm not trying to do.
No, I'm not taking offense. I don't take any of this
So
personal.
she was on that email trail, and I said, thank you for your response. She said her opinion was that she was in compliance, but that she had not seen the statute that I sent her. And so I said, well, how can you be in compliance with the statute that I sent that you didn't read? So I said, thank you for your opinion. Here's the document again. Can you let me know if you feel you're in compliance, and can you give me the work plan for last year's audit? It's been silent, nothing. She was supposed to be at this meeting. That was my understanding. I had talked to Rudy. She wasn't going to be here in person. She was going to call in. That hasn't happened. So I'm a no because she has been non-responsive, and for a request for we're expected to auto-renew a contract. And that's not right.
If I had to guess, the reason she didn't show up is because she does an audit for a fixed fee, and she doesn't get paid for making multiple trips from Daytona Beach up and
She
back.
wants to get the contract renewed automatically.
I really can't answer for why she didn't
Yes,
show
Scott,
up.
it's not your business.
Okay.
You, not ask you, you don't need it.
I'm just answering the question.
Well,
Okay.
stop, you know what? She is supposed to be independent from the district, and you're standing there defending. It's
Yeah,
you
her
finished
your
conflict.
question.
She doesn't come. That's an answer. And I'm done.
Yeah, you're done.
Am I supposed to do the financial?
No, you
Report
have
now.
public comment.
Oh, public comment. Okay. All right. Let me get out of the way for Mr. Slavin.
Mr. Slavin, do you have a comment?
But I think you also have another one with her, too.
Okay.
Ed Slavin, Box 3084, edslavin.com. I agree with Commissioner Gleason. Please don't renew this contract. There is no principled reason when the malfeasant auditor doesn't even come here by Zoom, let alone be here in person, that we should renew her contract. This is not a contract for uniforms or pesticides or anything else subject to automatic renewal. This is a licensed professional who's been working for the district for how many years? And hasn't been doing her job right? And hasn't presented a work plan? This is preposterous. This motion should be tabled or defeated. I am appalled at Commissioner Gleason continually being interrupted, not only by her colleagues, but by our staff. You need to let her speak. The lady knows what she's talking about. She's very experienced in business. She's done her research. And I haven't heard any justification other than the hypothetical, like from Mr. Hanna, that maybe she doesn't want to come from Daytona because it's too far. She was afforded the opportunity to be here, ladies and gentlemen, by Zoom. She's not here. She hasn't sent an email. She hasn't justified it. And our staff does not exist to defend a malfeasant auditor. And we've had problems in our city and our county with malfeasant auditors before. May I please remind you that St. Johns County, over a 5-year period, had $786,785 worth of embezzlement in the sheriff's department. And it turned out the auditor was malfeasant. And it turned out that one of the contracts with the auditor didn't even provide for attorney fees. We have to be safeguarding our government funds. It's our money. People work hard to pay your salaries. It's not a lot, but it's our money. It's our government. And the district has gone from a very small operation, as I fondly remembered. I talked to Dr. Shu reminiscing about 2005. It was a very small operation. Now it's a very large operation. So the concerns that Commissioner Gleason has raised are critical. You can't renew this contract. In fact, I think Learned Counsel will advise you under Restatement of Contracts, Section 178. It's a contract against public policy to renew a contract, correct? Where the person given a contract hasn't complied with their professional duties and their legal duties. And in fact,
There's no proof that she hasn't complied with
hey,
her professional
don't interrupt.
duties.
I have the floor. She's out of
Yes,
order.
you
Ms.
have
Chairman,
to-
please rule her out of order.
You need to rule, you need to rule her out.
She's out of
No,
order.
you
Thank you.
yelled at me.
Okay, where was I? Anyway, Restatement of Contracts, Section 178. Contract violation of public policy. I think it would be a violation of the Restatement of Contracts and an illegal contract unless void ab initio to approve this contract for auto renewal
Thank you.
when the lady hasn't even,
Your time is up. I'm
is it? Well, I was interrupted though by Commissioner Brandhorst.
Wow,
She should apologize and I should get an extra 10 seconds.
I think you did.
Well, I think it's illegal for the same reason that the helicopter contract that commission was asked to approve and did approve in 2005 and 2006, and that contract was illegal based on the same part of the restatement, Section 178. Please look it up. Please advise, Learned Counsel, please advise the commissioners that they're breaking the law if they renew this contract without complying with the law. Thank you.
Mr. Howell?
I'm Gary Howell. Just a few minutes ago, I heard the commissioners kind of scrambling back and forth. Would the chairperson tell me whether you tabled the topic just a few minutes ago or not? You don't know?
I'm sorry. Is there a question there?
You said you took a vote.
Well, we did.
Tables.
I hear scrambling back and forth. Madam Chairman, what I would suggest to you is that you pick up that gavel and you ask each and every commissioner up there how they voted. Then you'd know whether they voted or not.
Yes. We'll take the vote again.
Can you tell us what we're voting?
Okay?
I heard table.
All right. And the other thing that I'd like to suggest to this board is that Ms. Klein needs to personally appear here. Why she's not here, we have no idea. I guess. I didn't hear any excuse given or whatever, whether she drives long distance. But that doesn't, she gets paid to do the job and she needs to be here. So I just thought I'd suggest that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to make the motion again to renew the contract, the auditor contract for 23, 24.
Second.
I have a question.
Yes.
So for Ms. Okay, so last month we tabled this, and this month, if we table it again, are we required to have this finished by the end of the business year of October 1st, September 31st?
You will, yeah, you don't waive your deadline or toll it by your inaction. So yes, you'll still be on the deadline to finish the audit.
When is the audit due, like to the state?
9 months after the end of your
9
fiscal
months
year.
after the fiscal year, so we still have time.
So we've had time.
Yes, you do have time.
There's no
Okay.
emergency.
And when we did the RFP a few months ago, did we approve her for that?
Yes. I
For
don't
last
recall there
year's
being.
audit. This is a renewal
That was
for
a
the
year.
coming year. So she did the audit for 22, 23, and
That was the one from a couple months ago.
the one that,
Okay.
and
And
this
this
would be
one's
an
gonna
auto
be
renew for 23 to
this
24.
Okay. And she was asked to be here on the phone.
We were told.
Yeah, she said she traveled scheduled before we sent an email asking her coming forward. She said, sorry that the schedule is travel already conflict. So you can call in, give me number, call in.
You offered
Well, not the further.
Well, I would suggest to the board that we table this again until we get her in front of us. And if we have to pay her a fee to show up, then that's what we have to do, because we need to know what we're supposed to do. But, I mean, there's already a motion, so I don't know if we can do that or not.
So there's a motion on the floor.
You can amend it.
You want to vote, you could, I voted, I approved it. It's up to you.
You're reconsidering the motion.
Yeah,
There is a
we're
motion on the floor. You can amend your motion with the
I
provisions.
do not want to amend the motion. I want to keep the original motion that I made.
Okay, and approved,
I second it.
and I approve as well. I'm a no.
And I'm amending mine to a no.
Okay.
Because it's 3-2. Okay.
So it passes 3-2.
I want to see, by the way, as a board member, it is my prerogative to ask whether they approve it or not. I want to see that work plan.
It is a little confusing.
So now,
All right.
we're still on, now we're on the resolution?
Okay, I just
Or
want
is
that, I
that
just want
different?
that.
Resolution is
No.
posted. Right?
The
Table.
rest next month. Yeah. Can I just make sure that that's
April.
added to the minutes?
What is, I'm sorry.
That they've approved it. I want to see the work plan before this audit begins. And I can do that as commissioner. And I'm not going to ask her personally. This is now from the board. Shouldn't be asked to ask an auditor that works for us to please give me a work plan.
And what about the audit committee and audit selection?
Table,
That's
right.
tabled as
We're
well?
going to table that.
Well, both of them,
Yeah.
okay, all right, I just don't want to get everything too confused here, okay.
Mr. Scott?
Good evening, Scott Hanna, Anastasia Mosquito Control CFO. In any of that discussion, I hope nobody took anything personally, because I didn't take it personally either. But anyways, moving forward with the treasurer's report, as you have in front of you, for the month of July, ending fund balances at the top, Wells Fargo,
Oh, there it is.
the local fund on $1,465,953. The sweep account, as you can see, I guess I'll just give it to you in round numbers since you have it in front of you. The sweep investment fund balance is $3.8 million. The Florida Prime is $5.9 million. And Bank of America is $359,088.03. Total ending funds for the month of July is $11,566,956.39. Moving down, sources of income, the local fund taxes, we collected a small amount. Most likely it was a little bit of, actually it was a little bit of penalty interest on late submissions of tax payments, and that was $4,118.23. Next line, that should say Florida Prime, but I erroneously have it saying SBA fund. I will make sure it always says Florida Prime moving forward. So that's $27,418.13. On an annualized basis, that's 5.49% return on investment, which is actually the highest I think we've gotten ever. And the next one is the sweep account, Wells Fargo sweep return on investment, $19,000.10 is an annualized return. That being lower is 5.18%. The good thing about the sweep account is that the money moves back and forth, so we never have like excess money sitting in our local fund not receiving a return on investment. So it's actually a good, and Commissioner Gleason did help us get this in place, so you were a good catalyst for this, so got to thank you for that. Next line, donations. The DVC Center, the little box there had $176 in it. Dorm rent prorated, $385.92. Education Center concessions, $880.45. And then below that is the DVEC Center, month of July, income and expenditures, and then you've got a year-to-date to the right from there. And that's it for the financial report. Do you want me to move on to the budget amendment?
Please.
Okay. So I did adjust the approach as was discussed at the last meeting.
Thank you.
Sure. And we've got, we had excess revenues of $56,436.93. Instead of plugging that into the different expenditure categories to balance it, I actually put it in reserves for future capital outlay like I was asked to do, which is fine. The way I'd done it previously was kind of a little bit of a loophole that DAX created, and I took advantage of it because it was in the best interest of the district. Loophole might be a strong word. So we actually did need to amend office supplies for $5,212.66. And I took that out of contingency for the same amount. And
Is
then,
that going to get us through?
Yeah,
the
yeah,
end of
actually-
the End of the fiscal year?
I mean, as far as for this office
Or
supplies,
is that just for the month?
that's just for the month. I'm doing it, I guess I could start doing a little bit extra, so I don't have to do one every month. And I'll start doing that since there's not that many since we had a regular budget amendment where I was plugging the expenditures to match revenues, it was a monthly because I never knew what the interest or return on investment was going to be.
Okay.
But moving forward, if there's an expenditure that I need to take out of contingency, I will bump it up. So I don't have to, so maybe we could have some months where there's no budget amendment at all.
Okay.
And then that everything balances right there. And other than that, I've got the quarterly report, which is third quarter. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I don't know, didn't have much time to look at it today. I apologize, but if you have any questions, I'll answer them as best I can.
I did have a question. I asked Dr. Shu earlier. I just wanted to
Sure.
make sure. So our salaries are under, against the budget. We're
Yeah,
under
this-
by
that was-
600,000 or
That's actually under expended.
okay.
So-
Are we short staff? I mean, like, do we have
Yeah, like-
openings?
The way, and this is kind of kicked out of this QuickBooks format where, I think it's this line right, the
The
689.
689, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Basically, for the month of June, because we close out June, it takes 30 days.
Right.
That's 152. And then year-to-date is 1,276,924. And then the budget
It's
is the
1.9.
1.9. So what's left that hasn't been spent is 689,469. At the top, to make that a little bit clear, I do put under, if it's under budget,
Yeah, I know.
I put the little parentheses, that way you can
But my
see.
question was more, that's like, we only have like, that's June. We only have 3 months left.
It's a lot, yeah.
So that's a lot to have. Are we, we are at 100% staffed, or are we, the reason we're that under is that we have some openings?
We did have that, the loophole might be a strong word, but we did have the thing, when Stacy Reese came into DAX, she asked us to start amending the revenues, which I had to balance it by bumping up the expenditures. So having excess money some months, I did increase the salary budget.
Okay.
So that's why, so now if I do it this new way, it'll probably,
It'll match.
it'd be a better indicator as to where we are.
So
Okay.
we're not missing staff
So-
people, we just have extra money
So we're
in
gonna
that line.
end up with we're gonna be under budget, period.
Yeah.
You're telling me. in that
Most
line
likely.
item. And it's not due to being understaffed, it's just,
Yes, ma'am. And
okay.
I mean, you never know, there could be some big epidemic or a hurricane or something, and then we could blow through a lot of overtime. Anything's possible, so.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure, because I thought that was a big number, given that we're through 9 months.
Yes, it is.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Please.
For the DVEC ledger here, for July, it was 10,670 was our expenses. Do you think that'll be an average number? Do you have it's still a little, I know we're still not fully open, so it's anyone's guess, but
It's,
I'm thinking about our charging situation. We'll have to make that decision soon.
yeah.
And so if we're making $6 million on Florida Prime a year, $4 million on the new sweep account, if it's $68,000 a year to run the education center, I mean, we could make it free for everyone and just take the money out of the sweep account to pay for it.
Well,
But I think we'd probably have to have a better number to decide that, but I'm just asking if you have any idea.
and that year-to-date doesn't cover the first of, I'm trying to think, what was the official opening date?
October? 2 years ago?
No, I mean, as
The
far
end
as,
of March, when you-
End of March, okay.
It was during the arbovirus.
yeah, so, there's a lot, so that's just a partial year that we're gonna be looking at.
So how
And-
many months are in here?
I'm sorry?
How many months are in this, like 3 months, maybe?
You mean left to finish
No,
the?
no, in terms of the 10th,
Well, it says
Oh, yeah,
October
yeah,
23.
we're talking
October.
March,
Oh,
to July.
yeah. So
March,
this is-
April, May,
So it's like a year
5
long.
months,
Oh,
it's not even half a year.
Yeah, but we weren't open the whole, yeah.
And then you'll probably have more display things and more like maintenance repairs, like as the longer things it's open, you're gonna have more usage and you're gonna have more things needing repaired.
Touch it.
Little kids climbing and breaking things, I don't know, anything's, the playground. So the maintenance costs could go up exponentially, I would think. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
I need a motion to approve budget amendment.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget amendment.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
No one opposed? All right, Dr. Shu.
Thank you. Yeah, July 8th, we'll have a planning committee meeting that Commissioner General Lundberg joined there. So discussion about Florida new law request program goal and performance measure. Yeah, we work on some draft and talking to FMCA and also contact with Coy County. They have some kind of information. So we start back and forth. We work out some draft. So we will present to board September meeting for further import, comments import. Deadline is October 1st. We have to publish in our website. Also talking about the project next budget. So we postpone the carport and the storage to after next year. So we will be emphasis the drainage because after rain that field test poor couldn't use. So lots of water around there. So that's what we try there. Also, we talking about the possible future expanded to our service to Pantam County, Clear County. Several years ago, we commissioned Gary House on the board, and Pantam County Administrator and Department Health Director and Budget Director coming to us to ask any possible AMCD can provide service for them. So after we discussion and COVID started and stopped.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully can get it back. Look, currently still they found a contract with IVC, International Disease Vector Company, doing that kind of work for them.
Can I ask a question
Sure.
about that? The change that was made to 388 this year,
Yeah.
if I understood, expansion of your district was prohibited by statute now. So are you saying expansion, or are you saying them contracting with us for services?
Contract service.
Okay, so I
Okay.
think you might want to reword that language, because I don't think,
Well, it says contract.
yeah, no, but I think somewhere else it's expansion, where
Expenditure service, yeah.
so that people don't understand, possibility of
okay.
expanding the service. That sounds like expanding our service.
Or we could write expanding our service by
Or- or
contract
By a
or something.
contract,
okay.
As a vendor
Yeah,
to
versus-
partial
yeah.
something.
because I don't want anybody to think that we're requesting an expansion of the district. We're just providing services to
Yeah, the
somebody else
co-
under contract.
Collier County get approved expansion to.
Yeah, but that was
with
pre,
income.
but that was pre 388 changes, the 388
Now we have to get
extension.
the state law.
State has
bill.
to approve.
Yeah.
We have to get the bill.
So if you're changing your district boundaries, the
Yeah.
state does have to approve
Yeah,
it.
that's,
If it's an interlocal agreement to provide
Right,
services in another
that's-
county, you are still authorized to do
yeah,
that.
yeah, that's
Under
what I was just
163.
trying to clarify, because the language would, it says his expansion. It's just then change that little verbiage so that everybody understands we're not trying to change anything.
Okay, thank you
We're
for
not
pointing
hustling
out.
anybody else's territory.
Yeah, yeah, we're not.
The
going into
second
that.
committee is operation committee. So the Commissioner Brad House was something helping family and didn't join. So we have operation, have ground operation. So Dr. Steve Pepper report our virus and also report his group report mosquito population. Then it so requires the saturation, source reduction, and URV supply, and the equipment maintenance calibration. Also, Mrs. Smith is a report air operation, include air surveillance, airport, and the drone, GIS, like today has a GIS meeting with accounting, with other agents. So lab side and adult side, and from next week, we really start air supply quickly, or discussion about other issue and the pesticide selection. Currently, last night was the last test, hopefully doing more lab test and give recommendation and about the pesticide selection. Also, we discussed about the Department of Environmental Protection Agents, the grant, that will be on the new business number 2. We were talking about it. The meeting was good, yeah, I will share information. So, okay, thank you, the Commissioner, please suggest you have minutes, that we have minutes, you can read some more detail, what's going on.
So Olivia said that for the metal and the tire machines, does,
That's the,
like, we'd have to buy many machines to do that? or-
Yes, correct. The
Okay, it's
major-
just way
other
too
people
much
do
stuff,
that,
for-
yeah.
okay, I just want to make sure. Okay.
Go ahead.
For the next business?
Yeah, the next item is discussion and approval of the mutual biotechnician position.
Oh, that's a number 2? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, just talking about it next year. So the way from 2009 to 2013, Department of Environmental Protection Agency with AMCD has a cooperative grant. So that DEP pay salary and we pay benefits. So we had a mutual biologist and our biotechnician to work at the DEP, mostly for salt marsh mosquito. Because at times they have salt marsh restoration. We try to figure out the restoration of salt marsh, how affect the mosquito population, salt marsh mosquito population. And after COVID, we stopped and no more pay attention about this. Now the last couple of years, we have more problem with salt marsh mosquito on the island and the people living in the salt marsh area. Also federal and the state, they're doing some kind of inland, wetland, and the tide, some kind of, they get a 3 years big grant. We are part of that. So now that we, both agents agree, raise this position back. So we'll be work at AMCD and they call out the project, to look at salt marsh, share the information, how the tide, wetland change, how affect the mosquito population, salt marsh mosquito population. So they pay $30,500 per year for 3 years. So we'll have a contract position. So work here and yeah, also check that salt marsh.
For the job, is this a position that we need to hire a new person, or is this a position that someone that works here can take this position on?
Someone, we have intern work here almost a year, work interest in environment. Maybe after we can promote her. We definitely need after following the higher policy. But she's a worker here, she's interested in that. Or the technician, the salary, basic salary, we don't know how many applications, but following our policy of the advertising and the interview
Right.
process.
Commissioner Wilson?
Have the dollars been appropriated, or, so the commitment from DEP has been secured?
Correct. They have funding in hand, and they're ready to start October 1, but it's a deliverable-based grant, essentially, or deliverable-based contract. And so if you look at the back, it kind of lays out those deliverables and the payment. So while we will be upfront on that, they'll be providing us reimbursement. And that's how it works the best for them and their financial situation to be able to allocate that money. But yes, they already have the funding specifically for the grant.
For the period? For
Yep.
the-
So it can't be
Agreed.
taken out
Correct.
next
And
year
it's not a
during
cooperative agreement,
appropriations and all.
so that money is there. It is committed each year of those
Okay.
3 years. So it's not like a CDC cooperative grant where you have to renegotiate. The money is there,
Okay.
and they've agreed, as long as we meet those deliverables, that we'll get the funding.
And we've done this, before?
I mean,
for
a lot of our grants are deliverable based, like the majority of them for like the Florida Department of Health, like is a reimbursement, right? So if we fund any positions in that way, just like the DWFP grants, all of them are usually a reimbursement,
Okay.
either quarterly or deliverable based.
Do we have,
Thanks.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the cooperation between us and the DEP to hire the mutual position of a biological technician to work on the salt
I'll
marsh.
second.
all right.
Wait, who's seconded?
No, I think you have a comment.
As for,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think you have. Ed has.
Mr. Slavin, no more helicopter.
I will if I want to. Hey, I wonder, has anybody reviewed this proposed contract with DEP for organizational conflict of interest? And if not, why not? DEP, my late friend David Thundershield Queen says it stood for Don't Expect Protection. Are we creating a conflict of interest we haven't even thought about yet? Thank you.
Thank you.
who was the second?
Commissioner
I
Gleason?
made a sec, okay, it doesn't
Okay.
matter. That's fine.
I don't care.
I think we did it at the same time, but
And now we'll
whatever.
vote. All in favor? All right. No one opposed? Thank you. All right,
Thank you.
Dr. Shu?
Okay, yeah. First thing, I would like to report that the new virus for Florida called oral poultry fever virus, transmitted by biting maggots, Q-cordis. Also is a mosquito, Culex quintifaciatus. Yes, morning 9 o'clock, Department of Health, Department of Agriculture, hold a webinar, and I look at about 120 people joining that and update information. So in the world, and look at 7,700 human cases already. Majority 7,300 in Brazil, and some from Peru, some from Cuba, some from Colombia. So that's a virus discovered started in 1855. It's transmitted between sloths. Sloths are kind of animal, and mosquito transmitted to people. Sloths, yeah. So now in Florida, we have 2 import cases. So travel related to the people went to there. After come back, found this kind of fever and suspected some kind of West Nile or dengue. It's the same thing, it's the same rule. But so far, no any vaccine, no antivirus drug medicine. So still use repellents and control vector, reduce the biting opportunity. So that just stayed a couple of weeks, start to feel some kind of symptom rush. Similar with West Nile, dengue. And that's the, so Department of Agriculture, Department of Health encourage pediatrician, so they increase, they become one of the reportable disease. So I'm sure there will be more information coming when they travel to Brazil and Colombia, Cuba, this country need a pediatrician.
Can we have somebody, we have sloths at the alligator farm, so maybe we could have someone contact them just so they're aware
That's
of
a good
it.
idea,
Just
yeah.
because we actually have sloths here. I mean, if we have a visitor out of the 10 million tourists a year, and then one of them visits the sloth, and then you can even hold it. That's part of the activities, is you can hold the sloth and walk around with it, so we maybe should let them know.
Yeah.
Get them hurt.
So,
Yeah,
Just
now the
letting you
Vero
know.
Beach, University of Florida, Vero Beach, the professionals started research, maybe other hostels, not only Strasbourg, maybe other hostels, yeah. So that's such a many,
Scary.
first year that start outbreak in Brazil. So other thing that we have our education that the center. So last month we have over 1,300 visitors, and a little bit less than in June. So there's still a lot of positive feedback. So also our current still school break. Maybe next week school back, maybe a little bit less.
yeah, Monday.
But we have to other appointment with the home school, with the school, some kind of school, the field trip already. Seems a lot of activity. So the interesting. I also ask the people visit, how do you know that? It seems most by mouth. Somebody heard what disease back there, they're shaking hand. After coming here, say, oh, that's totally different. Yeah, what's your name? So the people very, very interesting. Yesterday we have something from New York. Corporation try some project, very surprised doctor coming, or the other agents coming. Every day, lots of people coming here. So that's a very good for public education. So other thing, we have employee last month, end of July 31st, we have 7 inter students finish training. Currently, we only have 1 college inter UNF1 and 1 high school for a few weeks. So then we have a new intern will be started after next week from UNF. It's basically the situation. Also, we have 1 seasonal employee quit and 1 seasonal employee that terminated because he's sleep on the work and during work and didn't on-time report. So basically, so any questions? Thank you for everything.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Becker?
Our PR guy that we hired in Tallahassee, after the break, he was gonna come visit the center, and have we heard from him?
He visited here before.
He did?
Yeah,
Okay.
he did, yeah.
Okay.
Also, we have called him back and forth almost 2 times last month. Just recently about the new law, the program goal. What's the program? What's the Department of Agriculture has any catalog? Then he gave some good suggestion. We work on and perform the measure. So that's we following the Department of Agriculture integrated mosquito management plan, work plan, the catalog. So they have the surveillance, service request surveillance, and the larva size, adult size, source reduction. Only didn't have education, didn't have research, because every was whole state.
Yeah.
So then we added applied research, special district mostly have the applied research.
Good.
Each program we have set up the goal and set up the measure. So they're just following the different markers. Next month we're on the agenda. Really want to get everybody to look at the import. I sent email to sent email to everybody already. You have a chance to look at it anytime. Let me know. Yeah, we hope we publish it October 1st. But I asked the Hawk, he said, who should we report? What's the request? He said, he checked out, there's no any request. You have to report to Department of Agriculture. No, there's no any regulation requested. Just the request you have to publish in your website.
Oh, so we don't send it to,
No.
that's what I was wondering. Do we send it
don't
to the
send, no.
governor? Who are we sending
No,
these reports
just the
to?
publish the annual program report before October 1st. We did
Well,
it
we
so
do
many
that
years.
anyways.
Yeah, we do that every year.
Okay.
And plus the annual goal, program goal, the measure, and plus also the medicine rate, we publish everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shuby. Ms. Myers, do you have a report?
I have a small one. I want to thank the board for allowing me to attend the last meeting virtually. I had an unforeseeable family circumstance that prevented me from traveling. In the past month, I have issued an opinion to the director regarding the distinction between the audit committee and the audit selection committee. At his direction, I also prepared the audit selection committee policy update that was on the table tonight and you'll consider next month, and worked with staff and received their comments on that. And then I have been corresponding with Mr. Flowers regarding changes to your procurement policies. So, if you have any questions for me?
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Bennett.
So for this whole audit situation, have you heard anything from the state?
I have not,
'Cause
no, ma'am.
You were gonna have the
Yeah,
state.
I'm trying to get them to
to come
come and
and-
do a presentation of what's required since, you know, I talk to them and they tell me one thing and then I sit here and I hear something else. So I'm trying to get them scheduled to come in September or October to come and present because I don't want any more discussions of, I'm not sure, we don't know what you're talking about, but I think you just approved the, you know, audit report, an auditor without
I
outside
suggest
guidance.
propose a new body next year, February, January, February, new body.
Yeah.
That'll be good for training, running.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
They also did suggest, in my conversation, there is an organization, I don't have it in front of me, that I'm gonna send to Dr. Shu for him to share. They said that they provide boards with, like, basically financials 101,
Good.
so that everybody knows what they're looking at. And I think it's beneficial for everybody on this board to know a little bit more about the finances and the procedures.
And we should, because some of the commissioners that I talked to from other counties, they're not doing that either.
No, they're not doing that.
So, like, is all of mosquito control not doing that, then we need to
Lee
fix that.
County
so.
is, though. Lee has not only an audit selection committee, they also have an audit committee. And I honestly think
Well, they're massive anyways.
they're massive, but their audit committee is only like 3 people. I think it's not, and they have people that are in that committee are finance experts that they're giving guidance to the board. So honestly, I think if we don't want to continue to have these dialogues every month, it would
It's
be
certainly-
helpful to
right.
have people that can serve as guides for us.
Yeah, probably Commissioner Baker is that short course have some kind of specific topic, educate our commission about. our
Yeah, we
commission.
could, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, that's probably one good
If
subject.
we don't know,
I don't
other
think any-
people that I've talked to don't know, then we gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
We don't, everyone wants to do the right thing, so.
Mr. Smith?
Thank you. And the last person that wants to talk right now is me, because it's time to roll. I have a couple of considerations I would like to present for evaluation. And I know there's been a lot of back and forth about the auditor and what she does. Okay, from a down low position, the auditor is employed by y'all. You have three employees. We all work for Dr. Shu. Okay, so as you have an auditor come around, it's taken 3 years to get the auditor to take our policy, the state law, and evaluate, is there money disappearing? Okay, I don't care who you hire. I will be able to present whatever we have, but you must consider that anytime you change a part on a helicopter due to cost, that AMCD wants to put a little sticker on that part and put it in the capital gains. This is how much we spent for it. We need to be able to track it, and you can't do that with aviation. You know, I have a tail rotor hub that was 10 grand from Bell. They want to track it. Well, I've got it tracked in the logbooks. We've got it tracked on the old one coming off saying it's timed out. I've got a head coming off a 442 with blade grips getting replaced this year at 4,800 hours. They get thrown away. You can't use them. So as we have an auditor come down, it's taken a little while to explain to one where the medium ground is. And we've got problems now because every part that I sign for, and I say, yes, fix this, overhaul it, repair, replace it, I have to put my name and my FAA number on saying, I, Dana, AMCD, is not going to sell this to South America. This overhauled part is not leaving the continental United States. OnTech is reaching out to you. 2, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I had a gauge that's valued at $26,000 repaired in California. Honeywell bought out this, and you know, you have a gauge, and this is the people that overhaul it. I'm the person on the line for that gauge. Danny Diaz reached out to you. You weren't even a board member here. I am desperately trying to figure out where the breakdown is on that.
And you know that I never did anything that he did. I was not even elected. I was like, why is he reaching out to me?
Exactly, and I've run that to ground with OnTech, trying to figure out how their financials are so screwed up that they're reaching out to a board member that wasn't here over an overhauled a compass.
I sent you the.
I've
I was
spent
like, I
I've
don't know
spent
anything
3
about
months working that. Why is he reaching out to a board member that wasn't here
vendor.
at the time this was?
I was like, why is he
So-
asking me?
So as we're dealing with auditors, you got to remember, we bring in a new team, that's on y'all.
But-
I don't care.
But here's what and because I've been in finance for a very long time, you don't just sit on your laurels with an auditor. Their job, whether you bring a new one, and it has to be a good one, is to really sit with Dana.
They're
And
not going to do that, ma'am. They don't have the time
but
for it.
I am not gonna sign off on auditors just on renewal basis.
Understand you, but you have to
That's not
pay
my
them.
job. My job is to do the best thing for the district. And if
Agreed.
an auditor doesn't show up or doesn't give me a document that should be an easy,
Have we looked
easy.
at, looked at the contract and said, every time this board wants to talk to her, she needs to show up? And if she's got a scheduling issue, that's not fair.
I mean,
If we pay her to be here every time, then we pay her. We pay her for a financial audit.
I'm not here to defend the auditor. I'm here
Neat.
to represent the district.
Ma'am, I understand that, but part of the district is me, managing millions of dollars
I
worth
get
of
you.
stuff.
I understand.
And now we have you as a new commissioner getting asked
I've been on-
questions about 4 years
I
ago.
forwarded to you because I'm like, why am I getting this email?
We're saying the same thing, but it's not your FAA ticket on that, and they cannot tell
But
me
what does it
how
have to
they
do with the
tracked you
audit?
down.
I forwarded it to you. I said, I don't know anything about it. Can you guys handle it? I don't even know how my name got brought up into that. I was like, why am I getting this email?
This is why I'm emphasizing the need
And
for
what
the
does it have to do with the auditor?
This is why I'm emphasizing the need for the auditor to understand what they're auditing. If you want
But
them
Dana,
to,
I appreciate what you're saying, Dana, but I don't understand what that has to do with the auditor. That was somebody that was saying that he hasn't gotten paid. I can't remember what the email said.
he's asking for a resale certificate,
resale
making sure that
certificate,
we
and I'm
don't
like-
sell something
Yeah, like a tax
overseas.
certificate, a tax-
Yeah, and
It
we don't
wasn't-
sell
it wasn't-
audits.
that's-
We don't sell audits. I'm like, I send it to them. I said,
All
can
right.
you take care of this?
Thank you, Dana.
We just need to be very cautious because there's a lot of work going on underwater
There's many.
to make this legal and effective.
I just want to
That's
make
all.
clear. I didn't know anything. I knew what a resale certificate, that was all I knew. And I'm like,
See,
can you
it
guys
wasn't a
handle
tax
it?
certificate, it's a resale certificate.
It was a
That's a
resale.
tax.
I know what it was.
That's
And
a
I
tax
sent it to you
exemption
guys.
certificate.
And I send it to you guys. I'm like,
When?
That was-
This is months ago. I've been
Months
working
ago.
with OnTech for 4 months, raising this higher and higher.
Why do you have to do something? Why is this guy even asking for it?
he was a vendor
This is,
of ours. I think.
4 years ago, I sent a gauge to California to get repaired.
Okay.
Okay, part of that contract with me saying, here's the gauge, it's broken, you're the only company that has the license to fix this, we agree to your price. And then there's 14 documents that go with it. They're all in that.
Okay.
Okay, fast forward 4 years later, she was not a commissioner. Danny Diaz from their finance office reaches out to one of our commissioners that wasn't even here, asking for not a
This
tax
was, she was
certificate.
just a citizen and not a commissioner.
Correct, a resale certificate. That raises my concern because everything that's in that hangar, I have to be able to justify and show.
A resale
Wait.
certificate, we don't sell
So
airline
the
parts.
guy,
If that airline part is broken and Richard decides it's excess at the end of the year and it's
Oh.
garbage, I wait for Ms. Klein to say, yes, I see it, I see it, I see it. Now you can get rid of it. Most of it goes to junk. But if it's sellable, state law requires we publish it to the other mosquito controls and then we put it out for sale.
And
Thank
what
you.
I'm not gonna,
Okay.
Thank you, Dana.
You're welcome.
I
I don't
appreciate
even
it.
know what the heck.
All right. All right, who has a commissioner report?
I just want to say thank you to all the staff for their hard work. Now the mosquitoes are hatching off like
Weird.
crazy, so you all have a, what's that?
So we'll be in your area Monday for sure.
Thank you.
Commissioner Branders.
Yes, I hate to bring this up, but Ms. Myers made the comment to me that she had not read all the reports prior to the meeting. I'd like to ask that she be fully prepared when she attends these meetings.
Thank you. Commissioner Gleason.
Okay, so two things. Rudy and I got invited to the Ponte Vedra Municipal Service District Board meeting, September 9th. Rudy went because they're having an issue with, they have a lot of water, like, but the county's responsible. It was before the county did a lot of some of the developers put fountains and stuff in their ponds. So, this is going back years. So Rudy went and did the walkthrough today. He's going to put a report together for them with recommendations as to where to put these fountains to get the water, to aerate the water and get it moving, because it's like basically stagnant right now. And so what I thought that this was an actually great opportunity, because now we're working with a municipal service district that can see the value of AMCD brings to the table. And so you're gonna develop a report and then present it at their September 9th meeting.
Very good.
And then secondly, I know it sounds like I'm always very difficult. It is not difficult, and do not get you. I take my responsibilities, especially financial, very seriously. And if somebody asks me for something, I respond. When I have an auditor that has been copied on multiple emails, and then the last one was her response directly to me and to Dr. Shu, and I said, thank you, but I still don't have this. I need this, and it's been 2 weeks, and I still don't have it, then that's non-responsive. I'm not being unfair. So, sorry that it's creating work, but this is like, I'm not asking for this year's audit, I'm asking for last year. And that should be like easy, like, here you go. So that's where my frustration is, because we are responsible at the end of the day for what gets submitted to Tallahassee. And anyway, that's it. So,
Thank you. Thank you. Commissioner Becker?
We had a nice turnout at the Touch a Truck Days in Hastings for back to school, and I'd like to thank all the staff that helped make that possible. And I've been telling people that have been asking me about service requests to use the app and how did you do it, so we can get that. They're all pretty bad at Stokes Landing area, so. So thank you very much for everyone.
Thank you. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.